All right. So, welcome to St. Bridget's Spiritualist Church for December 8th. We're using today as our day to celebrate each other, the season, whatever holidays you actually celebrate or whatever. We're all here in one place. So today I'm doing it a bit early. We usually do it our last service, but because we are having our potluck today, I decided today I would do it. And it's from Teachings of Silver Birch. And for those of you who don't know, Silver Birch is the guide that we do, I guess, refer back to a lot at St. Bridget's. So I'm going to do Festivals in the Beyond. Okay. Every Christmas and Easter, Silver Birch, with many other guides, attend a festival in the inner spheres of the spirit world. At these festivals, the guides exchange the views on the work that they have done and intend to do, and fresh power and inspiration are obtained to help them through the next phase of their work. At these festivals, too, counsel is taken with the Jesus of Nazareth, who occupies an important position in the work of perfecting communication with the other side. I wish that you could see and hear the Nazarene and feel that great love as he encourages us in our missions, as he expresses his knowledge of all that has been done, excuse me, and urges us to go forward with new strength, with new hope, with new vision, and with new purpose. He is not the Nazarene of the churches. He is not exalted into a deified place, but a great spirit who strives still to serve through many instruments. And for those of you who aren't familiar, Nazarene, we are referring to Jesus. Christians with Jesus Christ or Jesus, okay? For a short time, I'm in the spheres where I lived for many years, to feel once again that vitalizing power of the Spirit, so invigorating in its strength, so beautiful in all of its fullness, making you realize what life is when you are able to experience it in the higher realms of spirit. I speak with all humility and with no pride at all. If all the beautiful paintings of the world, all the inspired visions, and all the great artistry that you have ever heard of in your world, and all the deepest and greatest beauties of nature were all combined into one whole object, it would be but a very pale reflection of the life in the higher regions. That's beautiful to think. You're staying here. When the artist is filled with inspiration, he realizes that it cannot be expressed with his few pigments. And he longs for the colors that could be blended to produce that richness that has been given to his soul. But there are none, for spiritual truth and beauty exceed material clothing. How can I describe spiritual exaltation in the worlds? How can I describe the joy of meeting beings who radiate the great light of the Great Spirit, who are all full of wisdom and understanding, mercy and tenderness, who know all before you convey it, who know your innermost thoughts, who see the workings of your mind, who know of your successes and failures? You have not the words for these greater experiences of the soul. The past few months are reviewed, plans are made, our tasks are allotted to us. We are urged and encouraged and enthused, and we return to strive to perform our allotted missions. With your help and the power that is ours, we strive to bring the children of the Great Spirit nearer to the Great Spirit than ever they were before. So there's some questions and answers for this. When I started reading this, when talking about how they're all getting together, I'm thinking, well, that's probably not a meeting somebody's complaining to go to, because, usually a lot of people have work meetings. It's like, oh gosh, I gotta go to this meeting, right? And this is probably something they're actually excited. So that is definitely something that I can't put in my head. So these are the questions and answers. The questions: when you attend the festival in the spheres, do you leave Earth graphically or in the sense of withdrawing into a different vibration? When I leave, I am no longer concerned with the gravitational pull of Earth or even its vibrations. I leave behind the astral body through which I manifest to you and resume in the spiritual body, which is mine, which is, as it were, cloaked down while I talk to you here. Some portion of my consciousness is left in the astral body so as to prevent its disintegration, but I withdraw and register more and more of my inner consciousness. That is why I ask for as much time as I can get. For the more time that I can use to get freed from the vibrations of earth, the higher degree of consciousness can register in the spiritual spheres where I desire to watch. But I do not succeed in attaining to the consciousness I expressed before I came down to your world of matter. I cannot accomplish in a few days, which took years. There's a question. Great sacrifice must be involved in deliberately cloaking down the consciousness you knew. And Silver Birch says, that is so. That is the price I gladly pay to try to serve your world of matter. Okay. And they comment, it must be the biggest sacrifice of all. And Silver Birch says, yes, it is. But there are so many who need so much that I rejoice to give up what I have. If you could have radiant sunshine, not the pale reflection that you know here, and all the perfection of beauty that is expressed in all art, architecture, poetry, and music, and if you could have developed to the greatest degree the beauteous sights that nature could produce in the most harmonious conditions, gosh, and enjoy the congenial companionship of souls with similar tastes and pursuits, and then you were plunged into slime, surrounded by darkness and dreary misery, that is, to some extent, a comparison of what I have to give up. Sounds fun. I say that not to aggrandize myself, for I cheerfully relinquish whatever I have earned, if only I can help and serve and bring peace and comfort and hope and help to few. And then Silver Birch explains in the following answers and questions why festivals in the spirit world are at the times of the corresponding festivals on earth. So that's why we're talking about this today. So they question, why do you hold your festivals at Christmas and Easter? Have they any relation to the Nazarene? And he says, we held these festivals before the Nazarene came into your world. They have nothing to do with the story of the Bible. One day you will understand that the world is ruled by rhythm, by cycles which are part of the law of progress. These cycles operate and make themselves felt in your world at certain times and the history of all races. When I lived in your world, there were two festivals which were regarded as important. The Christians took these festivals from us, and you now call them Easter and Christmas. Those times had significance to us because it was then when we received the greatest communion from the Great White Spirit. You do not yet understand very much the influence of the sun. At these times we held for very many days what you call seances. We got at those festivals much inspiration. So, when again it comes around at the times which all of us are regarded as the most important in our lives, we gather together and celebrate those times with those who are our own. This started with the influence of the sun, but that was only just a symbol. There is an influence from all life to other life, from all matter to other matter, and from all planets to other planets. It is all based on natural law, for at Christmas it is the birth of the sun. This time is chosen because all of us are associated with races whose religions are founded upon the laws of nature. To us, the festivals of the birth of the sun was the greatest of all because it represented the beginnings of a new era. It is the end of a cycle, and a new cycle begins. Because these festivals were held in the world of matter, they are celebrated in the world of spirit. A spiritual meaning has now come out of them, and instead of celebrating the dawn of new life, we now use it to withdraw from the world of matter to get new power of the spirit so we can bring new light to your world. And they say, for whom is the festival held? And he says, it is largely for the Indians and for the guides who belong to the older races. All the Western world is new in comparison with these races. And for those who dwell in the West, our festival has no significance. At Easter, we celebrate the resurrection of all life. It is a symbol of all the worlds rising to join in the prayers of all those who pray that your world shall be resurrected from misery, pain, sorrow, sadness, and suffering, resurrected into a fuller life, into its real life, so that sadness and tears shall be abolished, so that misery and starvation shall be done away with, and that empty bellies may be filled. Your world very much needs resurrections, but slowly the laws of Great Spirit are beginning to operate as more and more of his children allow themselves to be used for his purpose and as the forces of materialism are being driven away. I go back with many others to the spheres where I really belong, to taste for a very short while the joys of spirit life, such as you cannot understand in your limited expression, to see the faces of those we love, who are our teachers, to imbibe of their wisdom, to partake of their power, to hold counsel with the wisest of the wise, to learn how far we have progressed and where we have failed, to hear the plans that have been unfolded for the great fight that rages ceaselessly, the fight between good and evil. We go to receive encouragement, to mix with those others who work near the planes of matter, and then to come again so that, filled with the joy of service, we may cooperate with you all and bring the power of spirit into your midst. I wish I could take you with me to gaze on the faces of those who serve you, so that you could see the radiance of the light that illuminizes them, so that you might realize who are those whom the Great Spirit has given to be your guides. But you might only be afraid. It is better that you not know us not by our names, but that you judge us by the work that we seek to do in your midst. But most of all, I wish I could take you all to the vast council chamber where we all meet to learn how we have fared amongst you all. And it says, why did you choose Easter for the celebration in the spirit world? We did not choose your Easter, you chose ours. Was the festival celebrated all over the world at the same time? To all our races, it was celebrated at the same time. When your world began to make a religion of Christianity, it used the symbols of ancient times because they were foundations of all religion. It says, do the other religions hold a festival in spirit world at Easter as well as the Indian communities? And he says, the festival is celebrated through the spheres. Those who are Christians celebrate the arisen Nazarene. We who existed in the world of matter long before the Nazarene trod the earth to carry into the world the symbol of our own religion and make it an occasion for a great festival. At that festival, we can learn the wisdom that is still to be revealed to us. We can sit at the feet of teachers greater than ourselves. We can share with others the knowledge that we have learned. So in reading this, basically this really explains why when Christmas comes, this time starts to come, and that's why I wanted to do it today, because it still is fairly close. As it comes, people start to feel distanced. They feel like there's something missing. They feel like they might be a little lost, a little confused, a little cloudy, and it's because your spirit guides have stepped back for a moment. So you're here, and so if you're feeling those feelings, don't feel that there's something wrong with you, or that, you know, I know mental health is such a hard thing, but just know that that's what's happening. It has nothing to do with, you know, anything. You just need to understand. I don't know how to explain that. Just know that that is why you're feeling those feelings. There's a reason for you feeling those feelings, okay? Because so many people really do suffer at this time of the year with, you know, loved ones and with just feeling down, because so many people, everywhere you go, it's like happy this, happy that, and oh yeah, what are you doing? Are you so? What do you got all this done? I got this done, and people feel the pressure to be that. But you know what? You don't need to be that. You just got to be and serve yourself and be what feels right for you and what makes you able to keep going, and know that things will come back together and you'll start to feel better. I also kind of, with part of that as well, this is also a time of the year that I don't know if other people really notice, but I sure have. A lot of people do crossover, and it's like Christmas, New Year's, you know, this is when people wait, and it's kind of the time that they choose. So, you know that you're loved, know that it's, you know, this part is only temporary, and Spirit is making things better. They're learning, they're going to their meeting that they're very happy to be at. And it'll get better. Okay, so I just gonna say thank you so much for joining us. I'm not sure if we're gonna be doing a live one next week. I think it's you, but if we don't have one, I believe we are going to be closed. The actual physical church will be closed from after December 15th, and we are going to be coming back to what is it, January 5th for that Sunday service. So if we don't talk to people before then, happy holidays. Please serve yourself, do what you need, and just live life how you feel that you need to make the most out of yourself. So thank you so much for joining us.